Ladies and gentlemen, we are tuned in to the Rico Report.
I really don't know what to tell you.
That game was insane. Welcome to the Big Squad.
Shout out to the Big Squad.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the Big Squad.
welcome on a very special evening to the Rico Report. We are here. He is our team. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. Bing, 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 bing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy back at it again. For those that are tuned in for the very first time and you guys have no idea who I am Rico. This is the Rico Report. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Rico Report. And we can now officially shift into off-season mode. I know there's a huge game coming up this Sunday. Man, I wasn't ready for the season to be over, right? We should be in this mode of like our Bills are going to the Super Bowl in the longest time and so on and so forth, but it's okay. It just wasn't our time to do it. So that being said, there's going to be a game this weekend. It's going to be fun to watch. You'll see Mahomes, you'll see Brady and rah. I'm not as excited this year about the Super Bowl, maybe because I'm still salty about the game that took place, but I'm all about certain times. It's our season to be winning. We were close, so it just wasn't our season, but we'll get there soon. So before I get into our show today, I got to give a shout out to the Big Squad. What's going on, Big Squad? Young King in the building. What's good? I see my man Scott Blakely, the vet from Chi-Town. What's good, Scott Blakely? I still love you, even though we disagree. I still love you, my guy. Jeff King in the building, the savvy vet. I like you. What's going on, fellas? Rico Duran, Brian Bowers, always in the building, represent New York. Let's go. Sergio Chavez, my guy Chavez in the building. What's going on? What's good? So good evening to everyone and welcome. So we have some off-season decisions we've got to make. And the decisions that are going to be made this off-season are not going to, it don't look for Bean to be, you know what I'm saying? Dropping bills all over the place. Mr. Bean is going to be Mr. Conservative. He's going to be penny pinching. Penny pinching Bean is what he's going to be because he's got no choice. We've got no choice. So right now, currently, I was taking a look at our cap right now, and with the adjustments of the salary cap at 175 mil, we're $6 million over. $6 million over. It will adjust. So we're already in the hole. So we're going to have to make moves. We're going to have to make moves. So the reason I called this show Window Shopper, right? I mean, let's be real. We've all been in a situation where money's a little tight, but we have aspirations to, you know what I mean, upgrade our lives, right? Whether it's upgrade our lives in terms of furniture at the house, upgrade our lives in terms of, I don't know, personal grooming kits, shoes. I gotta fix my do-rag here. My do-rag is messing up on me. Shoes, clothing, you name it, right? We've all been there where we go out just to look, whether just to get a fresh air or whatnot. We go out just to look, just to see. That would be nice in our house, wouldn't it? Oh, that car would be nice. Oh, I'd like to drive that, right? You've gone to the car dealerships where you're not ready to buy, but you're looking. You're looking because potentially you will be a buyer, or you're a buyer now, but you're just figuring out what you want. That's the position that we're going to be in. My man, yo, Rico, wave check? Hell no wave check, bro. Right now, I'm wolfing hard. Ain't no wave check. I got to keep grooming my shit, man. My shit is beat up. It's not there. Trust me when I tell you that. But we as Bills fans and the front office are in a window shopping position. we're not going to have the luxury of taking what we want and when we see it. You feel me? So it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna fly. So I compiled a list of candidates that we should be looking at to potentially bolster this offense. Because we're going to lose some pieces. So we have to find a way to mitigate and rummage through the certain pieces that are out there that'll be available, but to also manage our bank account. And that's where Bean comes in. That's where he excels, right? He made some moves early when he came here that a lot of people questioned, but we had to do it. Ronald Darby, you got to go. Sammy Watkins, you got to go. We questioned certain things, but I mean, we saw some of the writing on the wall, right? And it has to happen. So it's going to happen this year for sure. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it, because when I look at, and I don't want to get too far into it because you guys already know I also do a pre-recorded show. For those that know, I do the POP, process or a problem, right? So I don't want to give away too much, but I'm going to go through the whole roster, offense and defense, to talk about on the offensive side, who is a process, who's part of the process going into 21-22 season, and who's part of the problem. They got to go, right? That will come in time, but we'll get there. We will get there once the time is ready. So I'm looking at some of the comments. Let me just jump into some of the comments here. Shout out to you guys tuned in. Appreciate y'all for sure. I know I was a public enemy number one all of last week. Forgive me, but this is just, it was just how I was feeling. But I'm glad you guys are back. The real ones are back that show love. No doubt about it. Let me see what's going on here. I'm trying to scroll through the comments, man. I saw Brian Bowers put a comment. I'm trying to get to Brian Bowers here. Mr. BB. What's going on, Brian? What's happening, man? Let me see what Brian will have to say. Brian, I think you were talking to Daniel. He says, yo, hating the snow here in New York. I'm full of spring mode now that the Bill season is over. Hell yeah, man. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to spring forward is what we're trying to do right now, right? Scott Van Loo, my guy Scott Van Loo, what's happening, man? Thanks for that super chat. You know, I appreciate that for sure. So Rico, with the offseason, would you rather sign Milano extension? The keep the calm, is he more valuable than Feliciano? More valuable for offense to keep Josh Allen protected, or do you find someone in the draft? We're going to touch on that. And I promise you we're going to touch on that. But long story short, if I'm choosing between offense and defense, and I got to see if Milano walks or he goes, I will choose the offense over the defense. But I'll explain in a moment. Doesn't mean I don't like Milano. I do. I love what he did for this defense. I love what he does for the defense. But nonetheless, Brandon Beane said it himself. Can you stay healthy? And the writing is a little bit on the wall. He said, we are going to give him the respect for him to go out and garner what he can get on the open market. And if he doesn't like what he wants at the open market, then, I mean, I'm reading between the lines here. Then he can come back to us and then we can talk, right? But I don't think, in my opinion, that my man is going to open up the bank for Matt Milano. I don't know if he's going to open up the bank for it, but you never know. I don't know. I didn't think he was going to keep Trent Murphy either, right? Trent Murphy was on the roster. I thought, yo, he's good as gone. And they kept Trent Murphy. So you never know. You just never know with Brandon Beane. So without further ado, let's get right into it, right? Let's jump into the off season and looking at who we should window shop for. Now, we go to the quarterback position. We know that Josh Allen is the bona fide starter. Like, he's going to be here for years to come. We know that. But the challenge is, do we bring back, first of all, as your backup, as your backup quarterback, you want someone that is still going to be competitive. I don't want to say people are going to fear. You don't really fear the backup, but you want to respect the backup when a backup comes in, right? And I'm not saying that nobody respected Matt Barkley, because they do. He was a high draft pick when he came out, and he was a highly touted player coming out of college. And I mean, he's not a scrub, right? But he doesn't instill fear if Josh Allen goes down, right? And That Jets game was one game where he lit up the Jets and we're like, okay, we got ourselves a backup. But then we saw Matt Barkley become Matt Barkley. It's just not Josh Allen. There's just a big drop off. So now I'm looking at, okay, do we let him walk? Do we let him walk and just deal with Fromm? Right? Josh Allen, Jake Fromm, that's what we're going to go with. We ran with 2 quarterbacks all year and then potentially have Davis Webb as the practice squad quarterback or whatever the case is. Maybe that's what we do, right? Or keep Davis Webb as the inactive. That's what we do. Maybe that's the case. I don't like that. I'm not sure if I'm ready to give that to Fromm just yet. Maybe another year sitting on the inactive list, protected list, whatever the case is. So when I looked at what we have in free agency, the one name really stood out to me, and it would be such a joy to have this individual come to Buffalo, and that's Ryan Fitzpatrick. How nice would it be at 38, 39 years of age? He's expressed love for Buffalo. How nice would it be to have a Josh Allen and Ryan Fitzpatrick in the same freaking quarterback room? Man, would that be nice. And truth be told, he's 38, 39 years old. I could totally see a Fitzpatrick wanting to come to Buffalo and be behind a Josh Allen with no issues, and to also be part of the culture again. Like, he loves Buffalo. He was here for years, man. He got paid when he was here, right? He gave Buffalo hope. Him, Chan Gailey, Stevie Johnson, Fred Jackson, like that was a good group. I love that group. Although we weren't as potent as we wanted to be on offense, but I love that group. That group was really nice. I love the idea of having a Ryan Fitzpatrick at quarterback, at backup quarterback. Furthermore, if God forbid something were to happen to Josh Allen, where he's tough. He's a Mack truck, dude. Like he will take on anybody. Sometimes we don't like it, but he does. He might get nicked up. I would feel very comfortable with Fitzpatrick jumping in there. Very comfortable. He would get a round of applause, not because our guy's hurt. Don't get me wrong, but he would get a round of applause saying, "Yes, we don't have to worry." He's a borderline. I don't want to call him a borderline starter, but he is your quintessential backup quarterback that will get you wins, and he may get you a couple losses. But I feel better with him under the helms than a Jake Fromm. Now, it all depends on how much money he's going to garner. That's the thing. It could be $5 million. I don't know if they give him. $5 million a year to $7 million. I could see that. Or it might be more. Quarterbacks are expensive, so don't quote me on this. I have no idea how much it would cost, but that would be someone I'd look into. And I think at the tail end of his career, I think he'd definitely consider, that hometown discount that most folks like to talk about at his age, and seeing how the Bills are ascending and already familiar with the culture, with the city, with everybody, and everybody loves him back. I could totally see it. I could totally see it, man. Having number 17 and number 14 together on one squad, I'd be dope. That would be dope. So that's one option I was looking at, right? Then I was looking at Brian Hoyer. I don't mind Brian Hoyer. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brian Hoyer. I'm not opposed to Brian Hoyer as a backup, right? I think he's not done yet, but I feel like he could be a capable backup quarterback. And he would not be expensive at all. And I think I would give him the edge over a Matt Barkley. I like Brian Hoyer. I liked him before. We were looking at him years back to potentially come in and somewhat, I don't want to say compete per se, but we were looking at him a little bit. So he would be someone that I'll look into. So Brian Hoyer for sure. Or we can just go with Matt Barkley and just bring him back and call it a day. He's already familiar. He's great in the locker room. They love him back in the locker room. So maybe that's one of those situations that we could look at and say, you know what, man, let's not even bother looking at anything else. It's not always about going to get like that new backup quarterback. We have a backup right now, so let's just keep our backup quarterback and be good. But I like Hoyer. Hoyer does he moves the needle for me in terms of like a nice backup, right? Then I'm like, okay, hold on a second. I could just stay with Barkley and just call it a day, right? There's a good connection between Barkley and the locker room, good connection with Barkley and Josh Allen. Now, last but not least, this is an interesting one. I thought about this and I'm like, is this individual ready to take on officially a backup quarterback? This guy has been battling backup quarterback to starting quarterback, had a starting stint, just had bad luck in his career. And now you don't know where he's at, right? In terms of like what he wants, right? And that's Tyrod Taylor. That is Tyrod Taylor. Would you guys be opposed to having Tyrod Taylor back up Josh Allen, right? Familiar with Coach McDermott, knows the process, knows the city, knows all that, knows what Buffalo's about. I don't think he's ever talked ill about Buffalo when he left. And we always wished him the best. I mean, he did get us to the playoffs, right? So it gives me hope that maybe that's something that we would look at. And I think that would be something that Beane and McDermott would actually, consider, right? So for me, the top guys are Fitzpatrick, Tyrod Taylor, and Brian Hoyer. Those are the three guys that I'm window shopping for. I'm kind of looking in the window like, yo, could I? I got to see what I'm doing with the rest of my squad. So I'm gonna wait on that. But how do you guys feel about that? Those three quarterbacks potentially being the backup to Josh Allen. Are you guys a fan of that? Or are you ready and willing to say, yo, Jake Fromm, you're up. You did a year chilling on the bench right now. So now it's about that time. It's about that time. So I'm ready for you guys. So I know Scott Blakely's with it. I love the idea of Fitzpatrick. I think I like it too. I really do. And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, yo, we should really kind of push for that. Your boy CJM says, yo, Fromm never can be a leader in the NFL. You never know, man. You can grow into leadership. Sometimes you can grow into leadership, man. Being in the background, being with your teammates and not being the man allows you to kind of build relationships in the locker room, and then you become a leader. Like sometimes it's part of you, and sometimes people are just not with it, right? Some people lead by example. There's different types of leadership, but you never know. You can probably grow into that. So yeah, some of y'all still have your Fred Jackson jersey. I still have my Tyrod jersey. No lie, no cap. I still have my Tyrod jersey. So maybe there's a reason I never got rid of my Tyrod jersey. Real talk. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe he's coming back. We never know. We just never know. But for that quarterback room, I'm not mad at that. Fitzpatrick, Brian Hoyer, or Tyrod Taylor as a backup quarterback to Josh Allen. I mean, two of those quarterbacks I would be very comfortable with. But I mean, it's going to come with a price tag. Brandon Stevens. What's Brandon Stevens saying? What's up, Brandon? Rico, honestly, whatever we do in free agency, as fans need to remember that we must trust the process. So far, Beane and Sean have been spot on. Yes and no. I'll tell you this. Hashtag Sports. I think it was Hashtag Sports. They put out a pretty cool thread, and it was about the track record of Beane and McDermott drafting and bringing in free agent linebackers. And it's not good. We've had a lot of hits and misses. And most people want to talk about like Milano. And Milano was a Whaley gift, parting gift, like part of his last year as GM and scouting, all that. That was all Whaley. After that, other than Tremaine Edmonds, I believe, Tremaine Edmonds, it's been not fantastic. I don't want to say it was poo-poo, but it's been not fantastic. I still have my eye out for Tyrone Dawson. I still like Tyrone Dawson, but we've had a lot of misses. But we had a lot of great hits too. So don't get me wrong. But like they're not always on par. But it's gonna happen. Scott Van Loo. So Rico, what with the offseason? I think I read that already. Yeah, we talked about that. I think Scott, you gave me you sent another comment, but I could be wrong. If not, then cool. We're gonna keep it moving. But I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say I kind of am feeling that vibe right now in terms of the quarterback room. So I want to know what you guys feel, how you guys feel about that. Daniel Guards, what's going on, Dan? He says, yo, Hoyer would be a step down from Barkley, in my opinion. You think so? I see it. I struggled with that one because the two of my guys was Tyrod and Fitz, and I was like, I need somebody else. I was looking looking to see who I liked on that. I mean, I saw Allen was on there. I think his name is the one for the Redskins. I played for the Redskins or for the Panthers. Brandon Allen, I believe his name was, and I was like, okay, I mean, he played all right. But Brian Hoyer seems to have the most experience out of the guys. I did not like Glennon. No, thank you. I'm not doing that. So Mr. Trubisky is going to get paid somewhere else. So I mean, there was a lot of high names up there, but guys that we could afford is what I was looking at. So if we have to pay a little bit higher for a backup quarterback, I'm okay with Fitzy and Tyrod. What if Jags cut Minshew? But Minshew is going to want to start. He's going to want to start somewhere. And if you go behind a guy like Josh Allen, you're not starting. Like, there's no chance of you starting. Like, you can go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Go to Pittsburgh. Not even Pittsburgh. Where's their shaky quarterback spot? Like Chicago. Go to Chicago. Minshew goes to Chicago. He's got an opportunity potentially to start because it's shaky out there. You come out here to Buffalo. Nah, man. You're benched. You are the backup. There's no spot for you to even bother even think about starting. It's not gonna happen, right? So a guy like Minshew, I don't think that's like telling yourself that I'm a backup now. I'm gonna take over and be the backup. I don't think Minshew will be ready for that. And he's still got some game in him. He's still got some game in him. Scotty says, yo, there's a lot of talk from First Take and Good Morning Football that the Bills will take the Alabama running back Najee Harris at number 30. My opinion, we need a cornerback or O-line first round of the draft. Here's my take on the pick 30. If you absolutely like a guy at pick 30, like, you pick whatever you need, right? But Bean is all, and especially because we don't have, we're below the cap right now, and we don't have money. I don't want to say we don't have money, but we'll make money. You know that we will. But I'm trading down into the second, not too far down into the second, but I'm accumulating picks because in this day and age right now, with this whole cap hit we taking right now, we're gonna have to get cheap guys and cheap good guys, and you got to get them in the draft, and that's how you build your team, and that way that's how you stay somewhat financially responsible, if I will, right? You want to stay financially responsible by trading down and accumulating picks because the more money you pay, look at the Rams right now. The Rams are paying big money to like the first 5, 6, 7 guys on their squad. And the rest of them are just, mid-round draft pick guys. And they're still competitive. But listen, man, you have a lot of money, top heavy. It's a lot of top heavy money in the Rams. We're like that somewhat right now. But because of this whole cap hit that we're gonna be enduring, we got to start looking at the draft, and we might have to trade down. Trade down might be the way to go. But Najee Harris at 30, if they really like Najee Harris, and I like Najee. Najee's nice, man. That boy's athletic. He's a big boy, and he hits the hole hard. I like it. I wouldn't be opposed to that whatsoever. So I'm with that pick. So we're good with quarterback. We are good with quarterback. So let's jump into the running back room. Now, you guys have heard me before. Where I was extremely disappointed in the run game and just extremely disappointed in offensive line in terms of run blocking. Pass blocking, we were very good. We were excellent. But when it comes to run blocking, man, I didn't feel great about it. It was just, we were just underwhelming in the run game. So I've been saying this for the last 2 weeks now. Either we have to do something about this O-line or we have to do something about this running back room. And I was really on this. We have issues in the run game. Moss going to be better next season. And, okay, so I'm going to get on that. We have issues in the run game. So now I'm like, okay, what do we do? How are we going to offset this? And then there was a clip today that Eric Turner put out from Cover One. And I'm not a film buff. I'm not a film X and O's guy. I see what I see, and you guys already know. You already know. So there's this clip I want to play you guys, an all 22 clip, and I'm like, hold on. It made me rethink what I feel about this whole running back situation. So check this out, okay? There's no sound to it, so we'll go from there. Check this out. So I'm going to replay that again. All right. So pay attention real quick. First of all, I'll tell you who to pay attention to. Pay attention to Ike Butker, right? He's the guard right next to, he's on the right side of the screen. Pay attention to Ike Butker. I'm not going to say anything. Just pay attention to Ike Butker. Chop block. He missed it. Tried to get down on 91. Didn't get it, which is fine. All is good. All right. That's a hard block to make, first and foremost. That's a hard block to make. Now, you can go to Mitch Morse. Watch Mitch Morse. Open space, and he kind of doubles up on Chris Jones. Chris Jones is already somewhat out of the picture. So to me, there's no need to double up on Chris Jones, man. Move up second level. Second level, seal that linebacker. So let's play that again. Now watch the linebacker, middle linebacker, 57. Yo, Mitch Morse comes up and climbs up and takes 57 or 52. I don't know who that is. Maybe there's an opportunity for Devin Singletary to make a little bit more out of that, right? Let's put that one more time. Now, pay attention to 95, which is Chris Jones. He's problematic, right? But look how far out he is. Chris Jones, 95. Boom. And he's engaged with Feliciano. So two things that happened. 91 makes a play, and that's Ike Butker. But Ike Butker was so out of position, and not his fault. It's just a hard block to make, to reach. Like, look at Ike Butker. Look how far 91 is, and Ike Butker just can't get there. And 91 is the one that eventually kind of somewhat makes a play and kills it. If we kind of reach that block, we're okay. But look at the linebacker, the middle linebacker. Right there, 53. If Mitch can just climb up field, right? You're open. You got nothing. Feliciano's kind of handling Chris Jones a little bit, riding him out. You move up and you get him, and we're good. So is it really on Singletary? And that's why I have to rethink it. So going back to it, now watch Singletary. If you're running back, you got nothing. Singletary's going to, he opens up. He's got nothing. You got to take what you're given. And that's what he had, right? And if Mitch Morse climbs up, takes a linebacker, it's Devin Singletary against Sorensen. I'm taking Devin Singletary against Sorensen all day. 1-2, boom, he's gone. Maybe not for a whole touchdown because he's not fast enough, but he could be gone, right? So little things like that makes me say, oh, wait a minute now. We really have to look at this O-line, man. Scott Blick says, yo, cover one did oh shoot, I didn't even see this. Cover one just did a breakdown on our run game. Our O-line was awful. Not saying there wasn't some rookie impatience with Moss, but an effing antelope couldn't run behind that line. Listen, Scott, I just read that. I'm reading your comment just now, and I just put that clip. Like, I have to rethink the running back room because I was extremely harsh with the running backs. Man, get rid of them. I mean, I wouldn't say get rid of them, but I was ready to say Singletary becomes RB3. We go draft a number one guy that gets the job done, right? Now I'm rethinking it. So this O-line is problematic. But now we are in the run game. We're looking at running backs. I'm window shopping, right? Remember I told you we're window shopping here. So I started looking at who's available and who would make this team a competitive, who would give us a competitive advantage, right? Looking at the running back spots, right? And hold on a second. My man Scott Van Loo's got another one. I apologize, Scott. I got you, bro. Rico, you know as well as I do, Bean's very aggressive when it comes to the draft. If he sees a player he likes, he'll go for it. He's not afraid to trade up. I'd rather have the trade. I'd rather have the trade back. That's his thing. The draft. Listen, Whaley said it. The draft. When it comes to the draft, it's the front office's Super Bowl. That is that's where they make their money, right? And then they watch the whole season to see, okay, how did my picks that I suggested, how did the coach do with my picks that I suggested? And that's what they do. So right now they're in Super Bowl mode, and they're going to be doing all their homework to do what they can to make this season a success, right? So moving on. I see a lot of your comments. I apologize that I'm not able to because I was doing the video clip, so I'm missing a lot of your comments, but I apologize. I'll try to go back and see what's good. My guy Jesse Parsons says, what's good, Rico? If you had a choice between Najee Harris and Etienne, Travis Etienne, who would you take? I would take Harris over Etienne. Something about Etienne doesn't do it for me. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. But I'd take Najee before I would take Etienne. Etienne, he's a good back, but I'd take Najee before him. There's something about Najee that I like a lot. Anyway, so if I'm missing your comments, I really do apologize. I'm going to try to get to them. But let me scroll on down. So here we go. We're going to go into the run game. So here's the deal. Looking at the run game, we have to see what makes sense and what doesn't, right? Hold on a second. Ray Andrew. What's Ray Andrew saying? What's up, Ray? Ray says, Devin could not turn that corner all year, and it was reoccurring thing sometimes. You just got to beat the defenders to the edge. It's a problem with him and Moss. Yes, but to get to the corner, there's got to be someone sealing. That's how you get to the corner, right? You want to get to the edge, you got to have a tackle or a guard that's pulling, that comes around and seals, gets a hand on the block. But our line play wasn't good at running the ball. So, like, for me to get to the edge, I mean, you got to have the speed to do it, first and foremost, to even give yourself a chance. So if you're saying that they're not fast enough to get the edge, fine, right? But at the end of the day, our guard play was not good. We did not have good guard play. We did not have good interior run play. It just wasn't good enough this year. Last year, different story. This year, not good enough. Not good enough. Now, can this be an issue? I wouldn't say an issue, but could this be something that we should consider? We had a veteran in Frank Gore teaching the young Singletary the ways, right? Be patient, do this, do that, right? You saw Singletary was in Frank Gore's pocket all year round. Wherever Frank Gore was, little Devin Singletary was there, right? So there was some success, maybe with being tutored by the vet. No vet. Frank Gore is gone. Now it's rookie with a second-year player. Could that have been an issue? Could that have been lack of experience on being patient and pressing too hard? I don't know, right? So this is where we window shop, and this is where this comes in. So hear me out. The running back room. One running back that stood out to me immediately when I looked at that list, and I liked this running back years before, and that's Tevin Coleman. Tevin Coleman, the former running back for Atlanta, the former running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Tevin Coleman, to me, would be an ideal running back in this offense. He can catch out of the backfield. He's fast as hell. He's got great vision, right? And a vet in the game. He's been in the game long enough. And he doesn't need immaculate blocking because his vision is on par. And with your vision and your speed that you can hit a hole when you see it, that's a beautiful combination to have. Devin Singletary has vision, but he's not fast enough to hit that hole and get to it, right? There comes anticipatory feel, but maybe Devin doesn't have that anticipation yet. But a Tevin Coleman would be a nice addition to jump onto this offense. That boy can catch downfield, screenplay, a slant route. Dable would have a fun time with Tevin Coleman. So Tevin Coleman to come into the Bills, I'll take that on the – listen, he signed with the 49ers for $8 million. $8 million, man. So, listen, you want to give him $4 or $5 million? I'll take it. And this year, he's a little older. He's only 28. How old is he? I took my nose. He's only 28 years old. We got 2 to 3 years left. Like they say, on average for these running backs. Give me Tevin Coleman. I'll take Tevin Coleman and Zach Moss. 1-2 punch. Devin Singletary being the third back, inactive back, whatever you want. He takes on the Yeldon role. I'm good with that, right? Listen, Will Potter, $3 million? Shit, give me that. Give me that. I'll take that. You know what I mean? For Haya says, nice pick, Rico. I like that pick. Also, he's cheap coming off injury. I'm telling you guys, Tevin Coleman would be nice. He may not be as explosive as he was when he was at Atlanta, but boy, he would be a nice addition to this team. Moving on. So Tevin Coleman, I like that. If he's under $3 million, great. That's a no-brainer. We should be on that. And the beautiful thing about being in this window shopping position, folks, is the fact that Buffalo is now a destination that you actually want to come and play. 4 years ago, you mentioned Buffalo? Nah, fam, I'm not at the end of my career. You when you went to Buffalo is because you were at the end of your career. T.O. End of his career. You know what I'm saying? London Fletcher, we got lucky with London Fletcher, right? But he went on to play the Redskins. He did well. That was one mistake we shouldn't have done. We should have never let London Fletcher go. But Takeo Spikes, near the end of his career. right? These guys usually come here to finish their career. Kavika Mitchell, end of their careers, right? This place was a place you came for your Lawyer Malloy. Was it Lawyer Malloy? Did we have Malloy? Was it Malloy? I get all my stuff like Drayton Florence, right? End of their careers. You feel me? So like I'm done with that. There's no more of that. When you're a prize free agent, you want to come where you still got some life left. You come to Buffalo. We're now a destination that you'd want to come. So Tevin Coleman would be a nice addition. Mario Williams had some good years with us. Mario Williams, Drew Bledsoe. You're right. You know what I mean? These guys used to be like, yo, I guess I'll come to Buffalo. I'll take a big bag. I'll take a big check, and I'll just, you know what I mean, do 2-3 years, and then, you know what I mean, call it a day in Buffalo. It's a nice place. Right now, it's like, yo, y'all are moving, man. This is looking like the 90s Bills. Yo, I'm in. Yo, how much? Yo, sign me up. Let's go. Who's out there? Stephon Diggs is out there? All right, Josh Allen's out there? Cole Beasley? Tremaine Edmonds? Trey White? Micah Hyde? Jordan Poyer? Fam. Yo, Ed Oliver's out there? Nah, man. Yo, sign me up. Let's go. You feel me? Epinesa, yo, my boy played with Epinesa when he was at Iowa. I think it was Iowa that he played at. Yo, he says he's a good dude. Yo, I want to play next to him. Yo, Deion Dawkins, man. Deion Dawkins, boy. That boy is snowy. Yo, let me go play next to Deion Dawkins. Fam, we have enough pieces on this team that, yo, cats are going to want to come through. All right? Tevin Coleman, that's number one. One that most people have been talking about and shitting on, right, for the longest time. Stop talking about this guy. He's irrelevant. Don't talk about it. It's time to talk about it. It's time to talk about it. You guys know who I'm talking. He's on our very own roster. You guys aren't listening to me. I'm not talking about Yeldon. I'm not talking about, you guys have been mentioning this person's name. I'm waiting for someone to just tell me. Y'all know who I'm talking about? He's a little Englishman. He's a little Englishman on this squad. He's been now on the squad for 2 years now. Mr. Wade, Christian Wade. Hear me out. Most people are like, yo, man, he's done. Get out of here. Get out of here. Hold on a second. That's 2 years now. That's 2 years now. This team has said, nah, he ain't ready yet. Exempt list. Okay, and maybe this year it's time for him to do it. Nope. 2 years now. He ain't ready yet. Exempt list. Now, that's 2 years in the system with the same OC, same all of that. Granted, a little older, but fresh legs. Maybe he becomes part of the equation of getting a speed guy to hit that corner. I mean, I was looking at a clip not too long ago of Christian Wade when he was in our preseason, and that boy was explosive as shit. Quick, hit a hole, get in there, gone, right? And in rugby, it's everything. For someone that's played rugby, it is everything. You've got to be aware. You've got to have vision. You've got to have anticipation. You got to have all that stuff. So it's very interesting. So Christian Wade is someone that we have to consider in this position. I'm not saying, yo, give him the job and it's be done. Consider him. Let him fight. Let him see what we got. Joshua Richardson, J.R., what's going on, man? Rico, how would you feel if we signed either Xavier Rhodes or Richard Sherman? Christian Wade is the RB we need to sign. Let me get to the cornerback room. Josh, I promise you, stick around. I'm going to get to the cornerback room. I promise you that. James Cortez, what's going on, my guy? Draft Milano's replacement and sign Feliciano. You guys already made your mind up. So last but not least, Tevin Coleman, Christian Wade, Matt Breida, undrafted. Nobody invited him to a combine. Nobody was looking at him. Came in, was one of the league leaders in rushing when he was with San Francisco. He went to Miami. Maybe Miami's scheme wasn't good. Maybe the lineman wasn't good. I have to ask Kevin about that. But bringing up Matt Breida with that type of speed, right? I don't mind it. You guys see what I'm coming with right now? I'm looking for speed. Speed is what I'm looking for right now, right? So Matt Breida will be one of them that I'm looking at. Last but not least, this is not a name that you guys will look into, but I need you guys to do your homework on this guy. He was with the Redskins, then went to the Jags, and that's Chris Thompson. Chris Thompson can run. Chris Thompson is a hell of a freaking receiving back. If you put Chris Thompson on this team with Devin Singletary, with Zach Moss, that's a great 1-2 kick, 1-2 punch. Go look at Chris Thompson's college film, then bring it to what he did with the Redskins. Come on, man. and we upgrade that line and we bring in an inexpensive Chris Thompson, that is an underrated pick. Underrated pick. I'm telling you that right now. What's my guy Pierre saying? Pierre, you like Breida? Speed, Rico. We need more speed. You got that right. I'm telling you guys, I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping today. I really like Breida. Yo, Breida would be a nice pickup. Inexpensive, once again, right? The Miami Dolphins are probably going to draft a running back in the first round, second round. So Matt Breida, still young. How old is Matt Breida? Matt Breida is, what is he, 27? 27 years old? 27, 28? Still got life in his legs. Still got life. So Matt Breida to the Bills, I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you, man, we might have something on that. We may have something on that. All right. So Chris Thompson, Matt Breida, and Tevin Coleman. Those are the 3 running backs I'm looking at window shopping. We're only window shopping. We don't got the money for that just yet. We're going to find out what's really good. So if we can pick up one of those guys, we are straight. And let's not forget, somebody just mentioned this right now. Let us not forget. I'm frozen, but we're going to try to get this fixed out. If you guys can still hear me, I'm going to keep going and let this kind of fix itself out. But Antonio Williams showed us something. He absolutely did, Jason Chapman. So we cannot sleep on Antonio Williams. So this is going to be a very interesting competition for the backfield, because we wouldn't be talking about it if we didn't feel like, man, our running backs weren't that very good. And you know for a fact, Bean is looking. So if we didn't have any issues and the run game was actually pretty decent, we wouldn't even be talking about this, but we are. So there's going to be a lot of competition. Christian Wade, Antonio Williams is going to be in the fold. I think TJ Yeldon is going to be walking. And then we got Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. Now you add Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, Chris Thompson to the fold. Shoot, we have a decent backfield. We'd have a decent backfield. All right. Moving on. The tight end room. Ooh, good question. Does Bobby Johnson keep his job? Ooh, that's a great question, Scott. Whew. Oh man, I don't even know how to answer that. I really don't know how to answer that. Now, he has to work with what he's got, right? Feliciano went down early. Then you had to bring in Brian Winters off like out of nowhere. Then you had to, you know what I mean? You're dealing with Ike Bucker. So maybe he wasn't dealing with the talent that he really wanted. I mean, if you look at the tackle play was great. Mitch Morse, we'll talk on Mitch Morse in just a moment, but Mitch Morse was, he was all right. He wasn't anything that you're like, yo, bring him back 100%. But he did some great things for us, and he's got great leadership when it comes to that line. And a guy that your quarterback trusts, you gotta keep him around. But we're gonna talk about that one. But nonetheless, there are some things that we do have to talk about. All right, but I'm gonna get to that. Let's talk about this. Oh, you know what? I forgot about Freeman. I don't know if we bring back Freeman. I think Freeman is just, we brought him in for insurance. If somebody got COVID, he's in. But like, thank you for your services, sir. Good day. But we may bring him back. I don't know. But I see those options that I put forward are much more viable than having a Freeman. That's just me, though. That's just me. So the tight end room. The tight end room was just nothing to write home about. Let's just put it that way. You ain't talking about our tight end room at all. Now, people want to say, but hey, man, but Dawson Knox came in really strong at the end of the year. No, he didn't. Right? They just set up plays for him that were super easy dump offs that you can't drop and screw up. Let's be real, right? The touchdown passes that he was getting, the two that remember was a run option pass, and it was a flick. Not even a throw. It was a toss up. You can catch that. Same thing for the last our AFC Championship game. Was it AFC Championship game where they threw the touchdown pass to him? It was just a dump off. He's still the same Dawson Knox, the inconsistent Dawson Knox. Do I want more for Dawson Knox? Absolutely, I want more for him. We drafted him in the freaking 3rd round. I didn't realize we drafted him in the 3rd round. So yes, I want more for Dawson Knox. But he's just too inconsistent for me. People like to say, but he's in his 2nd year. Give him time. The tight end room, it's a tough position. You got to, time to develop. Maybe it's the impatient fan in me where I'm like, yo, but he's given us 2 years of inconsistency, man. The 3rd year is just going to put it together. You just never know. But we didn't see him ascend. We just saw him just be inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm not sure. So Zack Ertz on my list of guys that we should be looking at, right? Whether I don't know if they're dropping him or they're going to trade him or he's in his last year or they're going to be put in a position where they got to cut him or they've mentioned it, but we should be very much looking at that position. I mean, let's keep it real. If you guys don't remember, before the season started, let me see if you guys have a good memory. By the way, FGH says, thanks for that donation, the super chat, by the way. Bills path to the Super Bowl, speed plus physicality on both lines and more man coverage, DBs, and mid-tier running game. Mid-tier running game? I think that we need to put more emphasis in the run game. We can't have a mid-tier run game. We need a difference maker, impact makers. And this year, Zach Moss is going to really have to step his game up and be the impact back that we thought he was going to be. But it's still time. I'm going to read some of your comments here. Eric, my guy, Eric Sweatlick. What's going on, my guy? Curtis Samuel signing for receiver, running back, speed. Too much money. Did you see what the market is for him? He's at 14 mil. Was it 14? $14 million. Fam. We ain't trying to do that, man. We ain't got the money for that. We're not paying $14 million. We already got Stephon Diggs. We already got Gabe Davis. We got Cole Beasley. We're about to get rid of John Brown. So I think, too much money. Love Curtis Samuel. Don't get me wrong. Would love to have Curtis Samuel. Too much money. That mula too much. Not doing it. Right? But Knox, inconsistent. So Ertz, if we can make something happen for Ertz, we're good. Now, let me see if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember the when we, at the beginning of the year, who did we try to bring in at tight end? Who did we try to bring in at tight end to obviously be the starter over Dawson Knox? Do you guys remember? But this tight end turned us down. He went elsewhere. Can you guys remember? Let me see if you guys were paying attention. Pierre de Kingpin says, trade Morris and that contract to the Eagles for Ertz. Re-sign Feliciano on the cheap and move him to center and draft the guards. Oh, shit. John DeMarchi. Bing, biggity, bing, 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 biggity, bing, bing. Let me get my bell for my guy, John DeMarchi. John DeMarchi, you're right. Greg Olsen. Remember? So people talking about, give him time. Like they didn't believe in Dawson Knox. They didn't think he was ready. That's why they were trying to go for a Greg Olsen. And then Greg Olsen's like, nah, I'm good, man. Y'all are not competing. Shame on him, right? And then he ended up going to, I don't know who the hell he went to, and then just now he's retired. You feel me? He may have maybe potentially came back if he stayed with us. Just saying, right? So we don't really necessarily trust in Dawson Knox. And this is not poo-pooing on Dawson Knox. Maybe it sounds like it. I'm not. I'm just keeping it real. He's just too inconsistent. And they knew that. That's why they tried to go for in the likes of Greg Olsen. Now, that being said, who do you bring in? So I'm looking at Trey Burton. Trey Burton, athletic tight end, can get downfield, can block, right? And can do the job that Dawson Knox was supposed to do, but do it consistently. I think that would be, I wouldn't say a big upgrade, but it would definitely give us something downfield that we would definitely have some kind of threat downfield where you don't have to necessarily key on our receivers, right? Until my man gets his act together, maybe we can make something happen. So Trey Burton would be one I'm looking at. Next thing, I know this person is injury prone, but Jordan Reed. A Jordan Reed to the Bills, I thought about it. I was like, I'm not sure if I like that, but I was looking at who was there, and I was like, maybe that might be one. And the fact that he wouldn't be too expensive, and the fact that we know his history, it could happen. OJ Howard, thank you very much. Who put that there? I'm gonna look at it. Who said OJ Howard? Somebody just put OJ Howard. Gene Roth, OJ Howard. Man, how nice would that be to get OJ Howard on this freaking offense? That would be nice. I'm paying attention to what they're going to do with OJ Howard because that room is a little cramped up. That's cramped up over there. So OJ Howard could be one of those things where they're like, it's been great. See you later. We're fine. I don't know yet, but OJ Howard would definitely be something that we got to look into. I left it at that. So OJ Howard, Jordan Reed, Trey Burton, Zack Ertz, right? Those guys I'm looking at. We'll see how it pans out, but we'll see. Jordan Reed is a very like last second. I was looking at who would be cheap on the cheap. Remember, we don't have we're not going to have the money to do all the things we want to do. So I'm looking on the guys on the cheap, right? Who do we got? Antonio Dingo says, yo, Rico, tight end Brevin Jordan from the U. Yeah, somebody told me about Brevin Jordan. I'm going to look into that. Kyle Pitts, I was looking at Kyle Pitts, but my man Bobby, which I trust very much, he says, yo, Kyle Pitts is going to be gone by the time it's time for us to pick. So don't even look at that guy. I was like, shit, okay, fine, right? Fine. But let me look at Brevin Jordan. I'm going to definitely look at that. I will definitely look at that. My man Jeff King says, yo, how many chances are we going to give this piss poor tight end group we have? Effing angry. Number 1. 2, few and less. You know what, man? That's what I love, my guy. Yo, Jeff King, let me give that to you. I'm trying to somewhat be nice. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to give up too much on certain position groups and give up on players. But this is a new NFL, right? The years of letting people develop and to give them time. There is no time for that crap no more, man. They want these guys coming in and producing now. I may give you a year, maybe two. You know what I'm saying? And it depends, and it also depends on which position. There's ones that I have the patience to give you time, and there's ones that I don't have the patience. I just find another guy that's ready to jump in right the F now, right? And right now, our guy is not giving us the confidence that we feel. So it looks like Brevin is the number 1 tight end in my man Pierre's mind. So I got to relook at this Brevin cat. So Brevin is next on my list to take a look at. But this tight end room is underwhelming, and we need to bolster it. 100%. Has to. Let's go to the receiver room. Most people would think, nah, we don't need no receivers. Maybe we good. Maybe we got the number 1 receiver in the league, Stephon Diggs. What you tripping for, right? But then we also, we need to replace the likes of John Brown, because I feel that John Brown will be let go. Unless he takes a big time restructure and takes a pay cut and redoes his deal, which is very much a possibility, then okay, we're talking. But chances are they're going to let him go because it's a financial issue that we have right now. So that could be something that we're looking at. So I'm going to talk about the receiving room. By the way, shout out to my guy Young King says, yo, Tommy Sweeney. I love Tommy Sweeney, first of all, right? What he did in that short little time with Allen and the chemistry they had with each other, and Allen was looking at him often. I was so looking forward to Sweeney coming back, but it's unfortunate that he had that COVID situation in his heart being of an issue. So I'm hoping that he recovers fully and can come back. But it sucks, man. You work your tail off and then something comes up and you're like, what? I didn't know I had that issue. Crap. And you got to change your game. You got to change everything about everything you do. So it's unfortunate, but I like Tommy Sweeney. I'm a fan of Tommy Sweeney, and I hope he recovers and we can bring him back. Shout out to my guy, John DeMarchi. Thanks for that super chat, my guy. Crazy hypothetical. Oh, you better watch out how you talk about hypotheticals. People going to kill your ass. Yes, I can joke about it, people. You got to be light. You can't take things all serious. Anyway, John DeMarchi goes, crazy hypothetical. Josh Allen is our guy, rightly. But what would we get for Josh Allen if Stafford drew what he did in trade? It'd be right now, honestly, like multiple first-round picks and players. And I'm not talking about like 2 first-round picks. I'm talking about 3 to 4. 3 to 4 first-round picks and players on top of that if you want the quarterback. Because Stafford is not a scrub, don't get me wrong. Stafford could play, and I think he's going to do really good and really well for the Rams. But nah, I'm good. It'll be like 3 first-round picks, 4 first-round picks. Similar to what's his face potentially what they're saying is garnering to get his services. What do you call? I'm drawing a blank for some reason. Deshaun Watson. So, but it'd be a whole lot of picks. I'll put it that way. Josh Richardson says, JR, what's going on, JR? He says, yo, Rico, how would you feel about bringing in Tony Gonzalez or Antonio Gates to coach our tight ends? I think Antonio. First of all, Gonzalez he hates on the Bills all the time. If you guys pay attention to what he's always not trusting the Bills, doesn't really F with the Bills. So no, I'm good with Gonzalez. Antonio Gates, man, let these guys retire, man. Let these guys retire. But if he wants to come out and coach, shit, why not? Get these guys knowing what's good, and then we can make something happen with these guys. All right. So that's that. Let me move on. Tight end room, we got the tight end room down. All right. So let's move to the defense. And before we move to the defense, I need to play this clip for you guys. I'm sorry that it's not a full screen clip, but I need you guys to see something. Justin Zimmer is a baller. Look at this clip here. It's pretty crummy, but you see the guy that's moving left and right and just not giving up? That's Zimmer. Let me run that for you guys again. There's a guy in the middle of the screen. Boom. Goes right. Goes left. Goes back again. Comes back in car. Look at that motor. Doesn't stop. Keep going. When you look at Lamar Jackson moving right back and right because Zimmer's all over him. Zimmer is going to be a problem. And the fact that we have Zimmer on our freaking roster, I am thrilled about it. Shout out to my guy, Damon. Damon Talbot is the one that really put me on Zimmer. He says, yo, don't play on Zimmer. Zimmer is a dog. And that he is. Zimmer is not a joke. Y'all really need to start really getting on that Zimmer thing, man. Zimmer is all over it. What's my man Pierre say? Yo, to help Rico's point, Watson would be cheaper than Josh Allen. Allen is about to get paid. Oh, yeah. He is. He's definitely going to get paid. He's going to get paid more than $39 million a year. That is for a fact. But we already knew that. We knew that. This game is about, oh, I want to get paid higher than him. I want to get paid higher than him. I want to get paid higher than him because of what I've done. That's just what it is, right? And he's going to have every right to do that. So I'm skipping over the O-line on who we can bring because I'll be very honest. I need to do more homework on guard free agents and center free agents because that's where we need the help. And I'm not going to sit here and just throw a whole bunch of names out that I don't know. So I would have to do more homework on the O-lineman. That's why I skipped over the O-lineman. But we definitely know that we need help on the O-line. We might have to help ourselves in the draft. If you guys have ideas of who you guys like in the O-line and guys that we should be looking at in free agency, by all means, drop that in there. By the way, there's 280 people viewing right now. Shout out to you guys and showing love. 238 on YouTube, 41 on Facebook. Salute to the crew. Was good. And show some love, man. Smash that like. If you're new to the page, subscribe. Off season is underway, and we're gonna do it up, man. We're gonna do it up. Samuel Harris, what's good, man? Bing, bing. Another off season Rico. Love the show. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I really appreciate it, man. You guys have been riding with your boy and riding with the brand, so I appreciate that. You guys know it's all love, always love. John DeMarchi, yo, Zimmer, TJ made huge 3-guard tackle versus Indy, but on the second game, 61 blew up All-Pro Nelson. Next week, he ran 100 in a TJ convoy and went 18.5 at 300 pounds. Dude, Zimmer is a monster. Zimmer is a monster. Zimmer deserves Mafia respect for certain. He absolutely does. And I hope to get Justin Zimmer on an interview on this show. Yo, how dope would it be to get to talk to Zimmer himself and we get to chop at him and ask him questions, man? So, yo, we got to get him on the show this offseason. The offseason is the time to do it. So we're going to hope to reach out and see if we can get him on here. So, D-line. One name stood out to me. One name. Dalvin Tomlinson. If we can somehow find a way to get Dalvin Tomlinson on this Bills defense, it allows us to make a few moves. And not to get into too much, but my man, Butler, I like Jefferson. I like Jefferson's nasty. Butler, he did improve at the end of the season where I was seeing more flashes from Butler, but like the line was rotated all year. You only, you want to show up to the end. Like, I don't get it, but sometimes it's just the way the cookie crumbles. But we're going to have to trim a lot of fat on that damn D line. We had $50 million worth of fucking linemen on that thing, and we just did not stand out. So Ray Andrews, Star Lotulelei coming back. Welcome back. I don't know how that's gonna work. Are we just because he's back? Are we going to like retain his services and he's gonna be legit? Did he take a step back? I know he's gonna be a year, refreshed, but is he gonna be, ready to go? And it takes some time. It really does take some time. But we'll find out. Pierre Kingpin said, yo, Zimmer is like the Kyle Williams replacement, not Harrison. Remember how they tried to make Harrison the next Kyle Williams? Not that Harrison's a scrub, because he's not. Harrison can play. I loved Harrison's play this year, and I think he does come back. But yeah, Zimmer is a freaking beast, man. Love Zimmer. Big fan of Zimmer. So Dalvin Tomlinson is one guy that if we could bring him on, and that's a wish list. Like I said, guys, we're window shopping. That would be nice. That would be nice on the Bills offense or the Bills defense. That'd be cool. But We do lack size. We lack beef on the line. Ed Oliver, 6 feet, 280, 290 maybe. Yo, man, you're not going to push nobody with that. You're going up against 310, 315 pound linemen, fam. So it's either you use your quickness and finesse to get around it, but you get double teamed all the time. So unless we get someone that can eat up the space, like a Dalvin Tomlinson or Star Lotulelei comes back and he eats up the space, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. So a lot of changes are going to be happening on this line. So, excuse me. So we're going to have, that's something that we're going to have to look at too. So Zimmer, absolute steal. Buff Barrier, you're absolutely right. That is a steal. I don't know where we got this guy, but yo, whoever let this man go, thank you, because that boy is going to be a problem, man. I hope Star and plenty of steroids this offseason because we need him, yo. We need all of it, man. If Star can come back and he wants to come in and contribute and you know and commit to this team, and Ed Oliver can go back to his 3-tech position and do something here. And I mean, and Mario Addison, we got to do something with Mario Addison. Yo, there's a lot of things we got to do, but I don't want to go too much into it because I'm going to do my POP, which is a process over problem. And I'll go through who we keep, who we don't, and then we go from there. But let me tell you this, though. There's a lot of things that we're going to change on that line, man. We're going to be revamping that line heavy. There's a lot of money that we can get rid of, right? So let's go to I think I missed on the receiver room. I apologize. Let me go to the receiver room. So John Brown leaving. You replace John Brown with John Ross. And it pains me to say this, but John Ross might be let go. So John Ross comes in. I know he's injury prone. That's why you can get away with that. Bean is all about getting these guys on the low, on the cheap, right? Low risk, high reward. So I could definitely see him jumping on board and grabbing that player without a doubt. So a John Ross with a 4.2 speed, bring him to Buffalo. Now you really got to pay attention to a guy like him. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but when Tyreek Hill's somewhere, you have to pay attention. And when you have a volume thrower that we have in Josh Allen, and Josh Allen is just itching to just use that gun and get rid of that ball, yo, you got to send that. You got to still instill fear in these defenses. So a guy like John Ross might be a good addition to this offense. So John Ross, how old is he? He's only 26 years old. 26 years old, man. Something to consider. John Ross for a bag of chips, I'll take it. Yeah, we can get him on the low, man, because injuries has depleted this guy. He hasn't been able to be the same guy. So maybe we can do something about that. John Ross comes to the Bills, man. Low money. If he doesn't do well, get him out of here. We straight. Don't forget, we have Isaiah Hodgins on the roster as well. I'm not saying he's a speed guy, but Isaiah Rodgers is on there too. So keep that in mind as well. But I like Ross. I like a John Ross just to instill fear, like a Tavon Austin. You bring a Tavon Austin, although I'm not that. I mean, Tavon Austin he's passe, but a Tavon Austin type of fear, instill fear in some guys for speed, man, and all that ability. I'll take him. I'll take that John Ross any day, right? Secondly, I don't know if this is going to be available, but a D.D. Westbrook, former Oklahoma, I believe, receiver, D.D. Westbrook. He had a bad year. He had an injury this year, but the last 2 years he's been pretty consistent. Chances are they probably bring him back to the Jags, right? Because they're going to be drafting a quarterback. D.D. Westbrook could go back to that squad, but I think that would be something that we'd look into. If we don't go into that, then we can go back to Kenny Stills. We bring back Kenny Stills. Maybe he comes back and he's that deep threat that we need. He's got veteran ability. Maybe we keep him. A lot of things that we're looking into, but that's something that we definitely have to consider 100%. But Kenny Stills is definitely someone that I would definitely, still consider to bring back. But D.D. Westbrook, though, I like D.D. Westbrook, man. D.D. would be a nice little addition to the Bills, man. D.D. Westbrook, Cole Beasley, Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. There's your 4. That's a good little set. That's a good little receiver set. Maybe Isaiah McKenzie comes back. I don't know what's going to happen with that. So we'll see. We'll see with that. We'll see how it goes with that. All right. I don't want to take too much of your time, folks, but now let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I'm looking at the linebacking crew. So Milano is the big topic. What do we do with Milano? right? Milano, there's a big contingency. You give money to Milano, you know you're gonna pay him. 14 mil is what the market is saying that he's gonna be worth. 14 mil, 13.8 to 14 mil. That's what they say, right? So my man John Marlowe just said it, man. A lot of cuts are coming. They are. There's gonna be guys that are cut that you're gonna be like, what? Let me tell you a guy that might be cut, and you're gonna be like, I'm surprised that that person you just named is gonna be cut. So Mario Addison, although we just brought him on, we have an out with Mario Addison. We also have an out with Jerry Hughes. But Jerry Hughes is, man, I have a love-hate relationship with cutting Jerry Hughes. I love it because it gives us ability to go and find the youth, but he's still productive. He may not get the sacks, but he puts a ton of pressure. So I want Jerry Hughes back, right? Mario Addison, underwhelming this year. For the money that we're paying him, sorry, I could get that maybe from Daryl Johnson, right? I'm not saying Daryl Johnson is up next, but I'm just saying, keep that in mind. And don't forget, I still have love for Mike Love. Mike Love, you give him an opportunity, a healthy opportunity, maybe he comes in and does something. So I'm just saying. So that line is going to be probably a lot of retaining our own, but guys that just need to step their game up. So maybe we let go of Matt Milano, we draft a linebacker to come in, and we just upgrade and let our guys come and do what they do. Your Mike Loves, right? Your Brian Cox's. That sounds weird when I say that. Your Brian Cox's, Mario Addison, adios. You know what I'm saying? Vernon Butler, adios. That's a lot of money we save right there. Yo, we're paying Vernon Butler $6 million, man. $6 million? Golly. We're paying Mario Addison, what, 10 plus? Yo, we got some moves to make. Not that we hate these guys. It's just the nature of the business. It's the nature of the business. Has to happen, man. Hughes had 6 sacks in 4 playoff games. Keep him. I keep Hughes because he may not get all the sacks that we want him to get, but he creates a lot of pressure, man. And that boy's motor is still on top of a lot of these guys' games. So you add a little Zimmer, you know what I'm saying? You have Ed Oliver that's there, Star Lotula that comes back, Mike Love, Daryl Johnson, fam. Epinessa's there. So we might not do too much online. We might be cutting the fat. Maybe we add one impact player, right? But we might have that impact player on our team right now. Maybe we just bring a better linebacker. I'm not saying that Milano's trash, but I'm just saying, you guys catch what I'm saying. We are in a position where we're going to make a lot of changes. So all these things that I'm talking about right now could be BS because we might bring a whole new slew of guys, or we just upgrade the guys that we had. I'm really looking forward to seeing Mike Love do more with this defense. Now, cornerback room. This one is the one that I want to talk about. Sherman right now is going to be asking for about $7 million, between $6 to $7 million. You bring in. Here's the thing. You bring in a Sherman. Sherman's more of a zone corner, older. Not he's past his prime, yes, but he's still very good. Most people want to talk about, but you don't want to bring him in. Listen, you bring in a Sherman, he's better than Wallace, he's better than Norman, he'd be better than all the corners on our team. He'd be the second best corner on the team. Nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. Here is a bold take. Right? Not saying it's gonna happen, but there's a bold take, and I want you guys to think about that. Micah Hyde is only 30. We just paid Jordan Poyer. Micah Hyde, I believe, is coming up to next year is going to be renewal time. So it'd be something to look at if we brought in Sherman, but we moved Sherman later in his years to safety, and we moved on from Micah Hyde. Bold. I'm being bold here, people. Okay, that would be an idea, and then we can focus on drafting a corner. Now, let's go back to the regular program. I just wanted to just get your minds thinking because there's going to be a whole bunch of changes that happen this year. Now, I like our tandem. Don't get me wrong. I think we're one of the best in the freaking league, right? But with a Richard Sherman, because I've been hearing a lot of Richard Sherman to the Bills, he's a very good zone player. But in my opinion, we need a speed, strong, man-to-man corner. That's what we need. And if we have to go into the draft to get it, we need that. We need to get that because we already have a nice man-to-man corner in our guy, Trey White. And he can play the zone very well as well, right? Solid overall, good corner. But Sherman could fit this team, man. Sherman is a fit, but is a bridge. He absolutely would be a bridge. He's an upgrade over Josh Norman. He's an upgrade over Levi Wallace. So it would be easy to bring him in. And we just paid Sherman, we just paid Josh Norman $8 million or $6 million. So another $1 million for a guy that's going to be a Hall of Famer and Richard Sherman, fam, you got to bring him on, right? And what Stephon Diggs did for the offensive side of the room, what do you think a guy like Richard Sherman, as intelligent as he is, what do you think he would do for that DB room? Guys like Micah Hyde are already intelligent already. Bringing a Hall of Fame guy that can give you maybe a year, maybe two, that's one, right? Keep that in mind. Richard Sherman, I'm on board if we were to bring Richard Sherman in. People want to talk about, nah, man, he no good. My man, he could play. He definitely could play. Hyde has been a dog for the Bills since day one. You need to keep the dogs in your yard. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'm just thinking outside the box. I'm thinking outside the box because of the money that we have to move around and stuff. But we already have him on the roster, and to get rid of him, it's not going to happen. I'm just thinking outside the box. Things to think about, right? But I like Micah Hyde a lot. Love Micah Hyde. Don't get me wrong. And I love Jordan Poyer. Love Jordan Poyer. That boy's a dog, man. I love that tandem. That backfield tandem is great. But I only brought it up because if you bring a Richard Sherman and you don't like him at corner, some of these guys like Charles Woodson, they move to the safety room and they add another 4 or 5 years. So to me, I'm looking at sometimes you add a Hall of Famer that can go to safety, right? Add 4 or 5 years of veteran ability. That means you got to move someone. And that was the only reason I put that out there. But if we're keeping our safety tandem and you want him as a corner, then he definitely still fits our system. But I feel that we need a corner that can lock down man-to-man corner that's got speed. We need that 4.3, 4.2 speed. If we can find that, you can't just find that anywhere. You need that. Or someone that's strong and can jam out the line and disrupt. We need something like that. So that being said, that brings up Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes, lanky, long, has speed, can run, can get physical. That would be a nice little addition. Him next to Trey White. That would be nice. Peterson, Patrick Peterson, he's good. He's one of the top corners that's going to be available. But do we have the money to pay that type of money for Patrick Peterson? That's my issue with Patrick Peterson. All right. But I'm not mad at that. But we need another corner. Here's another one. Desmond King. We were looking at Desmond King before he went to the Titans, right? So Desmond King might be something that we want to look at as well. So this cornerback room is going to be something that we got to fill because that Levi and Josh Norman, it's just you got two guys playing shook. You have Levi Wallace that plays shook, inconsistent, and then you have a Josh Norman that is past his prime, right? I had really high hopes for him. I thought that he could rejuvenate himself and so on and so forth and become a starter, but he pretty much was the backup, right? He was supposed to be the starter over Levi Wallace, but it didn't happen. Now, one thing that I'm looking forward to is Dane Jackson coming in and proving himself as that guy. He ain't fast. He's not the fastest guy, but he seems to be where the ball needs to be. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. Look at this. Peter says, yo, Xavier Rhodes, Trey Hendrickson, Ertz, draft Najee, or Etienne at 30 if available. So you like Xavier Rhodes. Xavier Rhodes is going to command some money. He's going to command some money. He definitely will. But Desmond King, though, Desmond King could be a nice addition to this Bills team, right? So keep in mind for that. So you got some people that are with me. Okay, get Desmond and Rhodes if we can afford both. We can't afford both. We won't be able to afford both, and plus we won't need both. Because don't forget, you got Dane Jackson that's going to be given an opportunity to actually compete for that corner spot. It's been said. I'm not just making that up. It's been said. So we should be looking very closely to talking about that. So Desmond King, Rhodes all day over Sherman. Shit, you can't go wrong with Sherman, Rhodes, or Desmond King. One of the three. I'm straight, man. I'm real good. And then another one that we'd be looking into that you can probably get is Garyon Conley. Garyon Conley might be a nice little addition, like an EJ Gaines type of corner, right? EJ Gaines was really nice, right? So we good. Don't forget too, we have Cam Lewis is coming back, right, from injury, and I like Cam Lewis. I like Cam Lewis a lot. And then we got Tyrone Dawson that's there. So we're gonna have a lot of competition this year. Like I said, there's probably gonna be a lot of upgrading that's gonna be happening, right? Promotion, come on up. What do you got? But we're also going to be looking at free agency and draft. That's why you need the draft capital. If we can trade down from pick 30 and get a couple more picks to go into the second round, yo, you can't say no. You got to take it. You got to take it, right? Thank you very much. Ray Andrew, you feel what I'm talking about, man. Cam Lewis, good depth for potentially, for sure, man. He's playing well. He was playing well until he hurt himself. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's something that we got to look at. So, Trey White at 1, King at 2, Dane Jackson at nickel. What are you going to do with Tyrone Johnson? Tyrone Johnson came in heavy. Tyrone Johnson came in heavy this year, man. He had some games where you're like, yeah, you're a little iffy. But, dude, he came in big this year. Clutch. So, you know what I mean? And he was healthy. That was the one big thing about Tyrone Johnson is always bummed with the shoulder or some kind of injury. He was healthy this year. That's huge. That's huge, man. So I'll take that all day. John Marlowe says, yo, I do agree. D-line needs a lot of help. The bums we had couldn't sack Old Man Rivers. Yo, Old Man Rivers, though, was getting rid of the ball quick, man. Like, that's you want to negate a pass rush, get rid of the ball quickly. So if you're going to get rid of the ball quickly, what do you need? You need a corner that'll disrupt the timing, the flow, jam at the line. That's why you need those man-to-man corners that don't give a damn. The Chiefs, they messed us up. They had their corners lock us down, right? They did. They did a really, really good job. They locked us down. Sneed, I don't know that rookie Sneed. I think he's a rookie. That rookie Sneed did a hell of a job. Thornhill, solid job. They did a really good job on our receivers. Kudos to the Chiefs defensive coordinator. Yo, you had a good plan, man. You really had a good plan. But what we need on this defense is a impact player. Whether we get the impact from the linebacking position or we get the impact from the D-line, we need, or the corner, impact player. They need to be impactful. But I'd prefer that impact player come from the line. You know what I'd love? Dream. If we can strike a deal with the Browns some way, somehow, and land Khalil Mack and bring him to Buffalo, yo, fini. Game over, man. Last but not least, let me get to the linebacking crew. Two guys that I would look at linebacker if we're looking for depth, right? Tyrone Dawson, I think Tyrone Dawson is going to get more of a role. Delshon Phillips, I don't know what's going on with Delshon Phillips, so we're going to see what happens with Delshon Phillips. But Denzel Perriman is going to be a free agency. He's going to be hitting free agency. Denzel Perriman would be someone I'd be like, okay, I'd be interested to look at him. And you guys, man, I know this guy. I like this guy coming out of college. I think I played at Kansas. I want to say Kansas, but I could be wrong. Elijah Lee. He's been bouncing around all over the place. He went to San Fran, then he went to the Jets, I believe, and then he went somewhere else. I can't remember. But Elijah Lee would be someone that I wouldn't mind bringing in as depth on this team. And don't forget, Darren Lee. You're not hearing too much about Darren Lee that's currently on our roster right now. If Milano walks, Darren Lee gets elevated. And maybe we don't do anything at linebacker and we just keep Darren Lee at linebacker. Keep that in mind as well. So we've been sneakily keeping guys on our roster. And maybe these guys are going to be what impacts this team next year, especially in this whole cap issues that we have in these numbers that are lower now. So we're not going to be able to spend the way we want to. So it's going to be very interesting to see how we do that. We will not be able to afford Von Miller, and Von Miller would be lovely, but we won't be able to afford Von Miller. I'll tell you that right now. Smoke a 2 and a 3 for Khalil Mack. Yo, fam, if we can send anything to the damn Bears and get Khalil Mack, and the Bears accept, shit. Yo, give him Matt Barkley as well. I mean, Jake Fromm. Give him Jake Fromm, and then we good. You know what I mean? Give him Trent Murphy. Yeah, Trent Murphy's going to be cut anyway. But, you catch what I'm saying. You catch the drift. But that's something that for us to really consider. So, folks, that's what I wanted to touch on. We've got some moves to make. There are going to be a lot of moves to make. I didn't touch on the O-line because I said, I want to do homework on the O-line. I don't know enough of these guys that are out there as potential guys to bring on. But those are guys that I'm looking at. Somebody mentioned J.J. Watt. Lone Antonio says J.J. Watt. JJ Watt, I've been hearing a lot of JJ Watt. JJ Watt would be cool. Impact player, probably not anymore. He's not a see if you're gonna go for a big splashy name, you go for a big splashy name that would have an impact like physically to the game. I get it. We want impact to the whole squad altogether. And not that he's too banged up. I'm sure he can still play. And we can probably get him, I mean, once the Texans cut him. But he just wouldn't, I don't think he'd be impactful. He would just be another body on the squad that'd be very good, but not impactful enough. We need a guy that changes the game. That's what we need. So if we can find that guy for the D-line, maybe it's another year of Zimmer in this offense and in this defense and he kills it. But on the edge, we need something. Maybe Epinesa brings and steps his game up and he becomes that guy that we need him to be. Who knows, right? But impact is what we need. JJ Watt would be cool, but I just don't think that he'd be that guy that just makes the difference. And that's my opinion. I don't. Most people might say, "Yo, but JJ Watt is a future Hall of Famer." Rah, 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 rah. Different ball game, right? If I tell you I'm bringing in Richard Sherman, he can still play. He proved it with the 49ers. He was still very good with the 49ers. And I think he still will be good. And you got a little more life at corner. D-line, with all the injuries that my man's got, and then you come into a place where it gets physical, you're getting hit all day, and you're getting double teamed, and they know who you are, all that stuff, man, nah. I'm good. If we brought him on, don't get me wrong, I'd be like, shit, we got JJ Watt? Yo, I'm good with it. But like to go and pay whatever he's gonna be asking, I don't know. We'll see. But JJ Watt would be a nice addition to the Bills. Don't get me wrong, it would be. But if I'm choosing, I'm like, I'm good. I'm straight. I'm good. Good for you, man. You can go finish with your brother in Pittsburgh Steelers. It'd be nice. You guys can finish your season together. Milano is a most keep. Edmonds may bust out. Bring the smoke my way. Oh shit. Okay, let me reread that because I need to give it its context. What Pierre is saying to me. Don't go kill Pierre like y'all killed me for my take with Allen and Watson. But my man Pierre is saying Milano is a must keep. Right? Edmonds may be a bust. So he's calling Edmonds a bust. So get ready to get rid of Edmonds and keep Milano. So pay Milano, get rid of Edmonds next year, pretty much is what Pierre's saying. And then, we good. So if you guys agree with that, give the old biceps or give thumbs up. If you're like, yo, who the heck said that? His name is on the bottom. Go get him. But he ain't wrong, man. When it comes to I wouldn't say busting out, but Edmonds he had an inconsistent year this year. But we're gonna find out. Shaq Barrett, y'all were still, listen, the linebacking, let me tell you something. There are at least 10 linebackers, 10 to 12 linebackers that are gonna be available in free agency that we will have our pick at. Shaq Barrett is definitely one of them. Lavonte David, definitely one of them. A lot of these guys are going to be available. I'm just going to wait. We're going to play the wait and see game. Real talk. We're going to play the wait and see game and we'll see what's going on. What's my guy Daniel Guar saying? Daniel, what you say, man? My man Daniel says JJ Watt is 32, 9 hard years of wear and tear, cost 17.5 mil, had 5 sacks last year, missed 32 games in the last 5 years. And I guess you can count the 17. He missed a whole season with that pec when he came back against us. He missed the whole season. But he ain't no scrub. And 17.5 mil is if we trade for him. If we trade for him, yes, we're on the hook for 17.5. Ain't nobody trying to trade for JJ Watt and pay $17 million for him. He is going to be released. And once he's released, then it's fair game. Let's try to negotiate something. But out of respect for him, you don't want to disrespect him and give him a $3 million deal. I'm clearly exaggerating. He's going to covet over 10 million for sure. It's free agency. Someone's going to pay for that. So I just hope it's not us to pay that because we've got other needs that we got to take care of. Most importantly, the interior freaking line. We need guys that are dogs on that line, right? Our safety tandem is great. We need to add a little bit in the cornerback room. Linebacking, we need to fix that up. And the D line, most importantly, we need to fix that up. But nonetheless, man, this team is not, we're in bad shape. We're definitely not in bad shape. The way Bean has constructed this this team, the way this bank account is set up, yo, he set it up real good. So I think we just got to make a few tweaks here and there. And with a bit of the window shopping that we did, we might be all right. So let's recap. Let me try to get this in between 2 minutes. Ready? Let's go. Because I'm going to try to put this on Twitter. Let's go. So let's recap. Window shopping for the Bills this offseason, right? Quarterback, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brian Hoyer, Matt Barkley if he returns, Tyrod Taylor. I like those two, Fitzpatrick and Tyrod Taylor. If we can make that happen, awesome. Running back. This is the best group that I can come up with, and I really would be happy with any of these guys. Tevin Coleman, Matt Breida, Chris Thompson. Chris Thompson is the low-key underdog in all of these guys. And don't sleep on Christian Wade. Maybe, just maybe, they find room for Christian Wade. Receiving room. John Ross. Yes, he's brittle. Yes, he's injury-prone. But maybe with our conditioning crew, with our guys, our health and safety guys that we have on our squad, maybe we can keep this man healthy. So we bring in a John Ross with that speed. We replace him with John Brown, and bring, you know what I mean? We leave smoke and we come with fire with John Ross. Maybe it's something different, man. We can really get these guys off our backs and really have a true speed guy that hits it downfield. So John Ross would be one. D.D. Westbrook. I doubt he comes out and the Jags don't sign him, but D.D. Westbrook would be nice, right? Tight end room. Jordan Reed. I'm a little iffy on Jordan Reed, but Trey Burton and Zack Ertz, if Zack Ertz gets dropped. Zack Ertz, we got to try to pick his ass up. That'd be dope. Cornerback room. Garyon Conley, Richard Sherman, Rhodes, and Desmond King. Those guys you got to look into. You got to look into. You can't go wrong with any of those guys. It's an upgrade over Josh Norman, and it's an upgrade over Levi Wallace. I like Levi Wallace, but it is what it is. And don't forget, we got Dane Jackson that's going to be in the mix. So that'll be very interesting, right? Dalvin Tomlinson, that'd be a chunk of change that we'd have to pay. But golly, you put Dalvin Thompson and Zimmer and Oliver rotating all day. Star Latulia coming back, can't go wrong. And Denzel Perriman, Elijah Lee for linebacking crew. So, guys, we're not gonna have the big money, but golly, man, if we can do some damage, man. And having Justin Zimmer come back, I'm super excited about Justin Zimmer coming back. I don't know why, but I am. But Xavier Rhodes, if we can get Xavier Rhodes popping on the Bills next to Trey White, hey, man, we're window shopping. We're only window shopping, so let's see where this takes us. Let's see where this takes us. So, folks, that is my time. That is my time. If y'all have any questions, concerns, or I missed somebody, and you feel like, man, Rico, man, you're missing out on this guy. You got to give him a shout. Let me know. Let me know if I'm missing anybody. Let me know. Punisher Vasquez says, yo, Milano is too much money, and he's being hurt every year. He hasn't been consistent on the field. That's for sure. That is for sure. But we can't sit here and act like he's a scrub, because he's not. Let me tell you something, man. I was watching the game, a few of the clips of the Chiefs game. Holy crow. Travis Kelce is fucking good, man. That man is good. There were times where we thought we bottled him up, and obviously Pat Mahomes just is a damn good freaking quarterback, and you got a damn good freaking tight end. Dude, that combo of those two, disgusting, man. And Milano was there on some plays, but just my man made a better play. Kelce made a better play. It was a better throw. It's just what it is, man. Just what it is. Cincinnati's OG says, yo, I see you finally talking about John Ross. Someone must have been doing some looking into my John Ross talk. Yeah, man, I started looking at to see what available receivers were there, right? And you're not trying to break the bank either. And you want to take advantage of it. And I'm thinking like Bean. Bean likes to go after guys that you know what he's like? He's like that person that is they see a battered man. You know what I'm saying? This guy's been beat up and this, that, and they feel like I can fix him. You know those girls, those I can fix him girls. And Bean is like that. Yo, man, that guy's been battered up around the league. I can fix him. I can do it, right? So he's gonna be that guy. So if I can fix Ross, he'd bring Ross, and for the cheap, for the low. Why not? That's Bean for you, man. Bean is like that. Bean will bring you in knowing that you had some injuries, but you still a solid player, i.e. EJ Gaines. EJ Gaines known to be injured. Let me try to take a hit on you. Josh Norman, let me try to take a hit on you. You were nice at one point, but you've fallen. But let me see if I can try to bring you up. That is what Bean does. That's why I can see him doing all these moves that I've mentioned. I could totally see him doing it. Ryan Fitzpatrick, I could see it happening. Tyrod Taylor, I could definitely see that happening. It's there. It's Bean, man. Bean is one of those guys, man. We didn't make that shirt for no reason, man. Big baller Bean, yo, he makes moves. He does make moves, man. I gotta give him credit for that. Anyway, so folks, that is my time, man. I really appreciate you guys. It's always love no matter what. I gotta express myself. It's always love no matter what. You guys may disagree with my opinions. You guys may call me a fake Bills fan, which I think is hilarious. You guys know me. I don't take the internet seriously. I really don't. I do what I do because I love this. I love doing this, right? I love talking about my team that I love so much. But I'm gonna have some takes that you guys may not agree with, right? We can always agree to disagree. We can. It's just what it is, man. But it's always love. I always respect every one of you guys' opinions, no matter what. If I disagree with it, we might battle it out, but it's love no matter what. Never take this shit too seriously. That's just what it is, folks. So until next time, folks, you guys know I love you guys. You guys been love. You guys been real. And you guys continue to support the brand and support all my colleagues on this thing, man. We're gonna do it up, man. We're gonna run it back. See what I'm saying? We gotta run it back. Just like the Chiefs are running it back, we're going to run it back and bring it to them, and we're going to be stronger. We're going to be a little wiser, and then hopefully we do take that over the hump and bring that damn championship to Buffalo, man. That's what we want, man. At the end of the day, that is what we want. We want that damn chip in Buffalo, right? I like my chips and dip and Buffalo dip. That's what we want, man. Chips and Buffalo dip. Shit, I just made that shit up, right? I want my chips and dip. Not Buffalo dip. We're gonna need that, man. We need that championship in Buffalo. That's what it comes down to, folks. So that's it for me, man. Hope you guys have a great rest of the week, a great afternoon, a great evening. And until next time, it's your boy, and I'm gone. Ladies and gentlemen, we are tuned in to the Rico Report.
I really don't know what to tell you.
That game was insane. Welcome to the Big Squad.
Shout out to the Big Squad.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome to the Big Squad.
welcome on a very special evening to the Rico Report. We are here. He is our team. This is the Buffalo Fanatics. Bing, 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 bing.